Hey everyone, welcome back. While Campo's drinking his water, as you can tell by his hat, we are going to be reviewing AEW. It's a week later, but I work on Monday mornings, so we don't review AEW. AEW, please move your pay-per-views to Saturday night so we can review them on Sunday.
Everyone, Saturdays.
Yes, Saturday night pay-per-views are the best. We're reviewing AEW's first ever Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. This was a pay-per-view in honor of Antonio Inoki. They did during the pre-show, which I got thoughts on that coming up. But with me, once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man, movies, TV shows, wrestling, a little bit of everything. He reviews. All his stuff will be down in the description box below. Make sure you give him a follow, and make sure you also subscribe to this channel. Ring that little bell for notifications, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Been putting a lot of effort into the channel lately, and I want to know that my hard work is appreciated. So just a thumbs up will help this channel go a long way. Keep getting these wrestling reviews out for you. So once again, Campo, Wrestle Dream this time. They're going to make it an annual pay-per-view now, which is good.
Fine. Yes. Why was it for Antonio Inoki? He died a long time ago.
It's been almost a year.
I find that very odd that now you decided to do this.
Yeah.
When you don't have a pay-per-view at the beginning of the year.
But god damn, was that 0 hour long. They've extended it.
I don't care.
It's almost 2 hours now, 0 hour.
Make it 7 hours.
It was a very long pay-per-view. This was a long one. But the matches went by pretty quick. So we'll start the first 0 hour, I think now is an hour and a half. The first half an hour was just RJ City and Renee just talking.
Yeah. So I'll let them have the leeway on this because the 0 hour wasn't really longer in wrestling standards. They just the matches didn't even start until 38 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly. So it was almost an hour of talking. But we are going to start.
I like RJ City and Renee. I'll listen to them talk for a bit.
Canadian connection. They're going to be part of that Canadian elite.
There you go. Do you have a manager and a valet?
Yeah, exactly. RJ City, local boy. So with that, we'll start with our first pre-show match. Athena, Billy Starks, Keith Lee, and the legend himself, Satoshi Kojima, against Shane Taylor Promotions, Lee Moriarty, Shane Taylor, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez.
So are Mercedes Martinez and Diamante part of?
No, they're not. They're their own tag team now, who are feuding with...
Which I like them.
Yeah, they're feuding with Billy Starks and Athena now.
Okay,
Athena's kind of going face now.
In a weird way. It's not really it's like a heel with a haha gimmick, like Kurt Angle was.
Yeah. But if that means more Billy Stark, I'll take it.
Yeah, I tweeted it out. I love what they're doing right now. I'm so entertained. Billy Starks has so much energy, and I every time she's there, I enjoy everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. She is such a... We're talking yesterday on a review about a Tiffany Stratton. That's a different kind of talent. Billy Starks has the ability. She has that ceiling to be a top level star.
Billy Starks is the #1 prospect in wrestling for female wrestlers.
I think so.
And Nick Wayne is supposed to be the #1 guy. So yeah. I don't think he's looks as good as she does in terms of ring work. But
in ring work, yeah. Which we'll get to Nick Wayne a little later in the show.
We will.
But this was really good. Anytime we get Kojima, it's always a good...
Yeah, when I saw him, I was like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Red Man is here.
He finally did his lariat. Didn't get to do it in his last match against CM Punk, but he got to do it in this match. So
it was a good match.
It was
for what it was.
It was just a random... This sets up, I think, a rematch between Mercedes Martinez and Athena, I believe, because I think Athena beat Martinez for the championship at the time.
I just don't understand, especially nowadays with the current rules in mixed tag matches.
Yeah.
What's the point of having the match? If the women have to wrestle the women, why didn't they just get their own match?
So I think Impact is the only company that has rights to an intergender match. You know what I mean? For example, there was last week there was Jordan Grace against Bully Ray or something like that.
Yeah.
So they allow it to do intergender matches, whereas AEW and WWE, which are more, I guess, quote unquote TV friendly, they don't want to see men against women kind of thing. on TV for the advertising, right? For the advertising sake, you know what I mean?
No, I don't like it.
But whatever. I mean, it was fun though, and like, you know, Shane Taylor's good. I like Lee Moriarty with Shane Taylor. I'm glad he's not part of that, you know, mogul. What was it? No, he wasn't part of the mogul. He was part of the other one.
It all fell apart. He was part of the firm.
The firm, that's it.
Now Ethan Page is weirdly like with the Hardys, even though he just feuded with them. And then what's his name? What's a little short guy's name?
Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway is now like the GM of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And Lee Moriarty's with Shane Taylor.
Which I like Moriarty and Shane Taylor. I like put them as a tag team. This will be a good tag team.
Yeah, that's fine. And it was Shane Taylor's good.
And it was nice to see Keith Lee again. Like, we haven't seen Keith Lee in a long time. So clean shaven.
Yeah.
But with that, we're going to go into our next match. Our second match was a singles match, and how the mighty have fallen. Claudio Castagnoli, no longer a champion, is facing Josh Barnett.
This was a good match, though.
It was really, really good. Yes. But it's so sad to think that he's dropped all the way to the second match on a pre-show.
I don't know when this match was scheduled, but I feel like this was a last-minute call.
You think so?
Just to have Josh Barnett on the card.
I feel
like he just agreed to it, and like 2 days before, and they were like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, because Josh Barnett, for a while, he was part of the voice of New Japan in the US. Like, him and Jim Ross used to do before they did New Japan Strong. It was Barnett.
He was on, wasn't he on one of the things we recently watched?
No, not Josh Barnett.
Didn't he come out and just do like on Noah, on Pro Wrestling Noah? Didn't he come out and do like a segment?
Yes, he did. That's right. He did do a segment.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could have swore he did.
Yes, that's right. He did. For the Jake Lee match.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anywho, but yeah, yes. He was really good.
But I digress. Yes, it was really good. I can understand John Moxley on commentary just to keep him relevant. I honestly think Moxley's winning the belt back this Wednesday.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Because now that Orange doesn't have the belt anymore, where do you go with this now?
Okay, this is the weird part, because I don't think it would have been as messy should those issues have not happened originally.
Mm-hmm.
Though I preferred it to be Rey Fenix. I think Rey Fenix deserves it. I think when you look at the fact that he's a Triple Crown winner now because of it, accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
He's also like a really good wrestler, and he represents a different type of style of wrestling and a different whole group of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think is special. I'm not a Moxley fan. We know this. I appreciate that he's a
company guy,
and like he'll do anything for them. But it's like he won if you count the interim title.
Yeah, he's won a lot of interim titles.
He's won 3 AEW titles, and now if he wins this, he has 2 international. Like, come on, man. Why is John Moxley winning titles like it's going out of style?
Yeah,
like he can't even go like a couple weeks without being a title holder.
My fear is eventually we're gonna get Mox versus Kingston again, and Mox is winning both.
He's gonna have 3 belts.
3 belts. That's my fear. Because Mox and Kingston, that feud isn't over yet.
It needs to be over.
Eddie versus anybody in the BCC needs to be done.
Unless it's Bryan Danielson and Bryan Danielson wins the titles.
Yeah. Well, okay, then I'll take that. But Claudio goes over, and Josh Barnett gives him the old handshake, show respect. And are they trying to turn BCC kind of face now?
No. I just don't think they're pushing them as heels anymore. They just exist.
They're just there. Okay. Yeah, and Claudio goes over. With that, we're getting our next match, Luchasaurus versus Nick Wayne, which, if I tell you what happens later in the show, this match was pointless.
It also, not just as pointless, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It was basically a squash match. Before I found out what happened at the end of the show, I just put poor Nick Wayne getting squashed by Luchasaurus.
But you know what? In my head, I thought it was doing a service because I was like, okay, we're keeping Luchasaurus like tough.
Relevant.
Nick Wayne's trying to prove himself,
Yeah.
and this is how the match should have went. Was
Yeah.
it amazing? No, but it
Nope.
was fine squash match. It was like,
Yeah.
let's
Under
just
5
do it.
minutes, I'll take it. With that, Luchasaurus goes over. We'll get into our final match, 0 Hour. We're getting Billy Gunn and the Acclaim defending the AEW World Trios Championship against TMDK, Mikey Nichols, Shane Haste, and our boy Bad Dude Tito.
Okay, well, Bad Dude Tito's back.
Yes. And TMDK, they've put on 2 decent matches.
I want Robbie Eagles.
Yes. But, I mean, like, we watched a match last week at Destruction in Kobe against Bishamon. And now we've watched this match, and like they're getting like title shots left and right. But
yeah, and this was actually surprisingly good. For the thing I didn't like about it is when the show's gonna end, you could see it on the bar.
Yeah, so they're doing the countdown clock.
You knew that when the match was gonna end, so it was kind of like there wasn't a lot of build up because you're like, oh, it's gonna end now.
It's gonna end.
You know what I mean?
They need to remove the clock. Yeah,
but it was a pretty good match. The Acclaimed have become like the kings of the pre-show. I'm pretty sure they've been on the last 3 pre-shows.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, they were in.
No, they were in. Yeah, but I mean, it was fine. It was a good match. It was fine for a pre-show match. I don't think these trios belts mean the same thing as they meant when House of Black had them.
Well, we've taken them from main event status and lowered them to pre-show.
Yeah. So,
which is where all of Eddie Kingston's belts should be defended.
Yeah. So Billy Gunn and the Acclaim retain. There was no doubt in my mind that they were going to lose. Like, you know what I mean? This was telegraphed from beginning. So with that, 0 Hour ends. We get our pre-show ends. We go into our main card proper. We start off the match with MJF defending the ROH Tag Team Championships in a 2-on-1 handicap match against the Righteous. And my God, that Righteous theme song.
It's so good, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's got that heavy, like the doom, the doom, 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 doom. Yeah, it's really, really good. I'll see if I can get a clip of it without getting copyright strike.
You will. Well,
I'm not monetized, so I don't care.
Good point. There was some stuff.
Adam Cole is hurt though, right?
Adam Cole's actually hurt. His ankle is broken. They need to put plates in it.
So they need to vacate this belt.
Yeah. Also, I didn't enjoy this match. I thought like the funny parts were funny.
Mm-hmm.
But like what was the point of this match? In what world is MJF good enough to beat 2 people?
He's not. Absolutely, he's not.
So it's like you were selling me a lie. That's how I felt. Like you're calling me stupid and you're selling me a lie.
Well, I mean, he won by grabbing the guy's dick.
He's a dick grabber.
Yeah,
he got a lot of dick there.
Yes, he did. Big handful there. But like an MJF goes over. Like, your partner cannot defend the belts. He's going to be gone for how many months? Like, I feel bad for Adam Cole because of the fact that, like, every time he's put in a high position, he always gets hurt. But on whose fault is that? Is he not careful? Is he not? Did we lose Campo? No, we didn't.
Okay. No, I'm back.
Okay. But like I was saying, I don't know if you heard or not, but like, I feel bad. In a way, I feel bad for Adam Cole that every time he's back and put in a high position of prominence, he's always getting hurt.
Yeah, but this time was his own stupidity.
Yeah.
Like, I specifically had this talk with somebody, and they kept saying it's AEW, they're reckless, they set up their ring on purpose so that people get hurt. And I was like, there was literally stairs,
and he decided
he was supposed to run up to the ring apron. He said it. He was not supposed to go around the ring, but he decided to, and he decided instead of taking the stairs, he was going to jump off the stage.
Yep. And that's how he broke his ankle. It's like when CM Punk broke his ankle when jumping into the crowd.
CM Punk's an idiot, though.
Yeah. Welcome back to WWE.
Also an idiot. Yeah. See you in Chicago.
See you in Chicago, CM Punk, with FTR.
Oh God.
Yep. Well, that's a story for another day. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't enjoy this match as much as I thought I would. And like I said, if he's going to be gone for 6 months, take the belts away, vacate them, hold another tournament. I like when they hold their tournaments because it really showcases other talent. Surprisingly, a guy that was not on the show, I believe, was Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I let him have a break.
Yeah. But MJF retains the belts. I don't know. This was not the right time. I think we're going to get a Kingdom win. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's good. That's what I want.
Yeah. So with that, our next match, your boy Eddie Kingston defending both the ROH World Championship and the Strong Openweight Championship against Katsuyori Shibata. And Shibata just wrestled circles around Kingston.
Yeah, he did. This was not a very good match.
Shibata tried his best to make Kingston look good, but it didn't work.
Yeah, it wasn't a great match. I like the Shibata parts.
Yeah. And the thing is, like
we
go ahead, sorry. The Shibata parts were good. Yeah, go ahead.
We came into this with a decent pre-show, so you're getting you're like pretty hyped. You started it off with 2 pretty rough matches.
Yeah.
Like everyone knew Shibata was not winning.
Yeah, absolutely not. Like they're keeping it on Kingston for a while. So that's what makes it less believable. Kingston is nowhere on the level of Shibata. And try as he might, Shibata couldn't make Kingston look good. But Kingston retains. The less we talk about this match, yes. The less we talk about this, the better. Kingston retains. I don't know why. What's next for Shibata? What's next for Kingston, do you think? Kingston, I think, is going into a Moxley feud again.
No, come on. Don't put that shit on me. It's gonna be like Samoa Joe or something. Like
Samoa Joe, and then no, I can't. Like I don't know. I think they really want a
3-title Joe.
They want a 3-title Mox more than anything.
Nobody wants 1-title Mox, except for people from Ohio.
This is how you get the belt off of Claudio and put it on Moxley without having Moxley face Claudio. They want Moxley to be in the same vein as like this way he'll have something on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins that none of the others have. If Moxley wins the ROH championship, he's won AEW, ROH, and WWE. Rollins is the only one that's won ROH and WWE. So he'll have one up on both of them.
I don't care.
Yeah, but that's what they want to do.
Painting, like I can't think of the saying right now.
Number 3 on the PWI, like, John Moxley.
You can paint a horse, but it's still a horse.
Yes.
Okay. You know, you can put dog poop in a nice box. It's still John Moxley. So
what is it? You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink, I think is what you're trying to.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Sell me a donkey.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
Nice.
But going to our next match, Chris Statlander defending the TBS Championship against Julia Hart. And oh my God, Julia Hart is so good. She is the best main roster talent because Billy Starks doesn't really count just yet. Julia Hart right now has got the highest ceiling.
Yeah, and like everything
working with Malachi Black too has really improved her in-ring work.
The one thing, there was 2 things I didn't like. The thing that we just complimented her for the last time about not slowing down and like going full force. She did it a few times where she was supposed to run into the ropes and she like stopped running when she hit the ropes.
Yeah.
I don't understand, like in the thought process of doing it. I know she's small and the ropes are hard, but like if you don't run into the ropes, how are you going to get the momentum from running into the ropes?
Yeah.
She like runs and then stops and then like falls back and leans on it and then runs the other way.
Yeah.
So it's just her running. It's not even like rope work.
Yeah, she's not running the ropes. But I mean, Julia Hart has improved a lot over the last couple of years. She needs more time in the ring in order to improve that. If she's not getting the time in the ring, she can't improve that. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And This match was a little bit sloppy, but I thought overall it was a really good match. Chris Statlander, this is the best match we've seen from her in a long time.
Yes, it really put her over, Chris Statlander, as well as a champion. Like I said, this is the thing about every AEW show that we see. Once the feuds are done, it's like, unless we know it's a feud that's continuing, where do they go?
I think Julia Hart's gonna come back and wrestle her again for that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. I mean, I won't say no, but Chris Statlander goes over. She retains the championship. But like I said, this is a half decent match. It wasn't bad. It was
when
fun.
she hit the moonsault, I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
But it was
and
good.
then right when that happened, I'm like, oh, she's not winning.
Yeah. So Chris Statlander wins. We go into our next match. We are getting a 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the AEW Tag Team Championships. It's the Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers versus the Guns versus Cassidy and Hook.
And at this point, it's like turn the lights off, because I was like 3 matches in, like that match was okay.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed by the outcome. I was like, oh, what this pay-per-view, man. Another AEW pay-per-view where they flop compared to their weekly stuff. Bro, this match was a fucking banger.
This was a barn burner. This one was fantastic. Not really too happy with the outcome, but I mean, who else was going to win?
It's to do 2 things. I agree, because we knew it couldn't be Lucha Brothers because Rey Fenix is hurt. And they showed that right away.
And they showed that he was out after the first couple minutes of the match.
And then you're not gonna, not yet. You're not gonna do Hook and Orange Cassidy yet.
No.
And Young Bucks, it sets up the 5th match or 4th match.
Yeah,
against FTR.
And this is where they're gonna lose.
This is when they're gonna lose to. They let FTR go over so that it proved that FTR is still good, but they got to make sure to protect the company in case anything happens. So they got to take the titles off them.
Which there was an opportunity later in the show for that to happen. But the Young Bucks go over. The Young Bucks are your champions. They'll probably cash in at Full Gear.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, Bucks go over. This was a really, really good match. Like you said, Phoenix was hurt. He was out for most of the match. This was so far the best match on the card. And yeah, so far this was the best match. I'll talk about this at the end of the show, but I don't want to give too much away. But we'll go on to our next match. This was another really good match. We had Hangman Adam Page against Swerve Strickland.
This match was fantastic.
Yes. So now we're starting to ramp up. Started off slow. We had a decent pre-show, couple terrible opening matches, and then started to ramp up. This match, oh my God, Swerve Strickland is the best I've seen him since joining. Like, he really has a lot of talent, this guy. They really want to put him over. This was like,
they talk about it in the post press conference.
Yes, they do.
Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho both talk about how much they like Swerve Strickland and that they're the reason that he's on AEW. They handpicked him to come over.
Yeah. And it was pretty evenly matched too. Like, Strickland and Page, they both have the same type of style, same type of size. Like, they're both evenly like. So it turned out they both
can do a little bit of flippy floppy.
Yeah.
It was a good match, man.
When Strickland reversed the buckshot, Strickland reversed the Deadeye. Strickland attempted a buckshot.
It's weird to see Adam Page go so hard and lose.
Yeah, but good for Strickland. Adam Page at this point doesn't need the win.
He doesn't, but that's what I'm saying. Normally for him, whenever he's supposed to lose a match, he kind of puts in like a half effort.
Yeah. But Strickland really shined in this match, and this was a really good match, and it's good for Strickland. At least now you have another contender. What if it's Strickland getting the international championship? I wouldn't be too upset with that.
No, I'll take that.
Right? Instead of Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's gonna have all the belts.
He's gonna be like Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon. But Ultimo Kingston.
Oh my God.
But like I said, this was one of the longer matches. They're starting to get a little longer, the matches. And this was one of the longest pay-per-views since Forbidden Door.
But at this point now, I didn't care anymore. Like I said, I was locked in. It's like I didn't even realize how much time was going. Yeah. I looked at the clock and it was like 2 a.m. I was like, the hell? Because I started watching it like an hour later.
Yeah. So with that next match of the night, Ricky Starks against Wheeler Yuta, and again, a great match.
Yeah, this was really good. I don't know if the outcome is good for anyone,
It's good for Ricky Starks.
but like this
Ricky,
kind of hurts
what if
Wheeler
it's
Yuta,
Ricky
doesn't it?
Stark? I know, but what if this sets up? He's beating all the guys of the BCC when Moxley wins the international championship. What if Ricky Starks gets the belt?
What if Ricky Starks beats
Eddie Kingston?
Eddie Kingston?
Yes. I don't know. I don't see Ricky Starks in New Japan Strong. That I don't see. I can see him as Ring of Honor champion. Yeah, I don't really see. I mean,
he could lose it. He could lose it right away. They don't have to give both belts. Like,
I know
we're
it doesn't
turning
have to
into
be
WWE where it's always has to be two belts.
Yeah, Roman Reigns walks out with 3 belts now because he's the all-time everything champion.
Yeah,
he's the Masters of the Universe champion.
Yeah, oh, that's a good championship.
I have the power. But yeah, so Ricky Starks goes over. Fantastic match. Like you said, this I think does kind of hurt Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta is always the guy who seems like he's there to take the pin.
Yeah, and he's too good for that.
Yeah, because like the what's it called? Not their style of war games, the 2 cages there. Blood and guts.
Blood guts.
Yeah. Again, Wheeler Yuta looked fantastic in that match, and he took the loss in that one too.
And John Moxley's on commentary.
Yes, again.
Which is at this point, he's been there twice.
Yeah.
And you're like,
we'll see him again.
You're like, okay, this is not bad.
Yeah, I'll take John Moxley on commentary. He's not bad. So speaking of the BCC, we're going into our next match. Zack Sabre Jr. in a non-title match facing Bryan Danielson
for the King of the World
for the championship. King of the Technical Championships.
At this so this match was kind of long.
I
thought it was great. Like, not good. This was great.
A lot of reviews online are saying this was match of the year. Not even close.
I mean, there's definitely other choices. This was good. I mean, this was a great match. It's up there. It's probably going to make the list.
Yeah.
The Chris Jericho list.
Yeah.
But like, John Moxley got so absolutely annoying. Like, he kept talking over the other guys, and he kept trying to tell stories that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you talking? I'm sorry. I got really frustrated. I ended up watching a large chunk of the match on mute. I couldn't.
Which is funny because of the fact that he was okay in the Claudio match and okay in the Yuta match.
Yeah, and now it's like he just got out. He was like literally absolutely coked out guy.
He was a mark for Danielson.
He was just talk, and nothing he was saying makes any sense.
No.
Like, he's talking about how this move helps sell this, but it's like we just heard them talk about it earlier, and that's not like how it works.
You have Excalibur to tell you that.
But the in-ring work was crazy.
Yeah.
I think the wrong kid died here.
I think Sabre should have gone over.
I think so too, because this does nothing for Danielson.
No, it's basically having him win.
Wrestled him.
It's have him win in his hometown.
Yeah. I know, I get it. I think the physical stuff, Danielson was far better, but the actual on the mat like stuff.
Oh, just every time Danielson would try to put him in a move, Zach had a counter.
I don't understand. Okay, look, I know he's good. Okay, I don't agree with the people that say Danielson is one of the greatest of all time. He's on the list. He's not in the top, at least for me. But he gets all this praise for being a technical guy, and he's not. He's actually a really good technical wrestler, but like, he has nothing even remotely close. He has like 4 moves. Zack Sabre Jr. is literally rolling around and putting you in submissions while he's doing that.
Zach trained in the catch style wrestling, like the British style, so that's what they're known for. And it's like Zach wrestle, and I hate to say it, like, I hate to sound ageist about it too, but Zach's like 10 years younger than Danielson. Like, he's a lot quicker. He's a lot younger. He's a lot like more limber.
And he's also the most jacked I've ever seen him.
Yeah. He's less, he also has less injuries. They were talking about, Daniel Bryan, he has that steel plate now in his arm kind of thing, and that steel rod in his arm. And yes, and I get it. And Danielson, as good as he was, as good as he even is now, I feel Danielson maybe has lost a step. And he even said he's winding down. He's not even a full-time competitor anymore.
It was still a good match. I'm never gonna
Yeah.
take that away. And
No.
anytime you get to watch Bryan Danielson is a good thing. Zack Sabre Jr. is like a special wrestler right now.
Yeah. But I mean, Danielson goes over. It was just to get the win in his hometown. We'll go into our next match. We are heading to our next match, which is Chris Jericho and the Golden Elite of Omega and Ibushi against the Callis family, Takeshita, Guevara, and Will Ospreay.
Wow.
Ospreay and Omega, even Jericho in this match was really good. Like,
is this the best trios match of the year?
I would say so. I'd put it up there because, like, Takeshita, like, this is the best I've seen Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara was really, really good in this match.
Everyone's good in this match. And, like, anyone who had any qualms or, like, didn't believe in Takeshita, like, just get over it.
And this is Omega's baby. This is Omega's pet project, is Takeshita.
He's already as good as Kenny Omega. I'm just gonna put that out there. He needs to just like get more polished.
And work on a character.
He has one. He's a 50s greaser.
That's true. And he has a great mouthpiece in Don Callis too, so he doesn't really need to speak.
He shouldn't ever speak. I think
just like a silent assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, there's certain people like the Brock Lesnar's and stuff, like Mike Tyson. People should talk for them because they come on, you talk like this, I'm gonna eat your baby. You're like, okay, yeah, that guy's not scary anymore. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I mean, Mike Tyson's always scary, but that's not the point I'm making.
It's like that throwback to Animaniacs when Mike Tyson, I'll have the Santa Fe fingerlings, please.
Exactly. See, but keep him with Don Callis, and I really like I like what they're doing there. I just still struggle to understand the logic of the Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
He's in charge of one of the biggest factions in all of wrestling, but somehow works for Don Callis.
Yes. So does that make Don Callis the leader of United Empire?
Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And then there's a thing that happened on Dynamite, which we'll just say it.
Yeah.
Where Aussie Open was part of a match.
Yeah.
Was it with Takeshita?
Yeah.
And they lost, and Kyle Fletcher was, and he blamed Kyle Fletcher, which is now like, is Will Ospreay going to turn on you for that's his guy?
That's his guy. Yeah. Because Mark Davis, we'll get into it later with our next match. But yeah.
But anyways, we digress.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to start doing remember Mortal Kombat when the guy used to come out and go, Toasty? Every time we say I digress, I'm going to have Taz pop out from the corner like that.
That's beautiful.
So with that, the Callis family goes over. Takeshita, Sammy Guevara actually gets the pin in this one, which is surprising. Not Takeshita. It is. It's telling that Jericho and Guevara story. I really like Jericho and Omega together. I love them as feuding, but together I like them even more.
I think you should leave it like this.
The Winnipeg Elite.
Keep them with like this, and have it somewhere not soon. Like, let this drag out forever. I hate quick storytelling, right?
Yep.
Let this go for over a year.
Yeah.
And then have it cause a rift between Adam Page and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, where they split and they have a feud. And then you can add Edge to their team, and it could be 3-on-3.
I like it. I like where that's going. With that, our next match, FTR defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against Aussie Open. I honestly thought Aussie Open was going to win this match.
I honestly expected Aussie Open to win this match.
Then I found out that Mark Davis was working hurt again.
Mark Davis broke his wrist in the match on top of working hurt.
Yes. And that's the reason why they didn't do the belt switch. He just came back from an injury. Yes, I think that's why they didn't do the switch. He just came back from an injury. Remember, he was injured when they left Japan to go to AEW for the first time.
And they had to relinquish the titles.
They did not relinquish. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, this was a really good match, though. FTR, I don't know. FTR seems like they don't care now that CM Punk's gone.
I don't know. They're still good.
They're very good. I'm not saying they weren't good. It just maybe they didn't care as much as they used to. Because there's rumors that FTR is going back to WWE.
You know what? I think if they want to do it, like, that's fine with me, but I think that's a terrible decision.
because I think Dax was he tweeted. I think he tweeted like top guys out or something like that. This has been a good run, top guys out. But yeah, that is that what he put? Yeah, he put this has been a great run, top guys out. See you soon.
I'm pretty sure they signed for like 5 years.
Maybe,
and that
who
was
knows?
this year.
Maybe they're just trolling, yeah. Who knows? But there's talks about that unless they get bought out of the contract. But this FTR is by far right now. Look for that list. It's coming soon. We're gonna do a top modern tag teams.
Well, I think we agreed on the last 5 years.
Yeah, within the last 5 years. So I think that's a great so be on the lookout for that coming soon. But FTR, like I said, one of the great, and Aussie Open is one of the futures of tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's about all I got to say about that. Other than that, this was a fantastic match. Any other things you got to say on this match?
Yeah, actually I do. This match was fantastic.
That's it. We'll leave it at that. Go watch the match. So with that, we're gonna go into our main event. This is Christian Cage against Darby Allin. Best 2 out of 3 falls for the AEW TNT Championship.
The A&W.
The AEW is for all the burgers.
That's a good one. They should do a partnership with them.
Yeah. I like that idea. And just starting off, Christian Cage, what a fantastic heel this guy is. His heel work is top notch. Like
you can make the argument that he is the best heel right now.
Right now, I would say yes. Because he's not a tweener like MJF is.
No.
And Jay White is kind of like not in a heel position right now either.
He's in a really weird place.
Yeah.
But he really this is the thing too. We'll talk about this, okay? We're gonna allow this because I'm gonna allow it. He cut a promo against MJF. I believe I don't know if it was the collision right before this.
Yes.
And
about the mask, and then MJF's like, "Oh, somebody stole that out of my locker."
Yeah, and then there was the whole like tofu or whatever, and it's like I don't want to say WWE-ish, but MJF is becoming like a really manufactured heel.
Yeah.
Where he's like, everything is to create sales. Like, we're gonna start a chant, we're gonna do this. And then Jay White was cutting really like New Japan style, like, I'm a murderer, like I'm the absolute boss, like you're not gonna do shit to me kind of promo. And I
kind
really
like what Finley's doing now.
Yeah. I really appreciated like the rawness of it, but like the crowd didn't care what he was saying at all because they were too busy just goofing off with MJF. And I think there's a line in wrestling that when you cross it and you make it you take away the realness of it. It bothers me. I don't mind goofy wrestling, but I think if you're gonna try to cut real promos, having the crowd goof off on this guy while he's trying to cut a serious promo, I think that's just stupid.
Moxley suffered from that in WWE when they were trying to get him over as a serious guy. He was kind of making the whole jokes about it, like, you know what I mean, when he was feuding with Seth kind of thing. He was very jokey, like even that when he did that Broken Skull session with Steve Austin, and he kind of came off as just like whatever kind of thing. He needed to mature, and I think AEW was a good place for him to mature a little bit. Like, I mean, I'm still not putting Mox as my favorite, but like okay.
I agree with you, and it's like it's not like AEW in terms of like what the storytelling and like the crowd is like leaves. It's leagues above WWE or anything, but I think there was just an element of realness there, like where the Japanese have completely captured that. And I think if you're trying to set up a feud here and Jay White understands it, it's like, because in Japanese wrestling they don't do that. So like when you're cutting a promo to the crowd, they're listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And MJF the whole time, so he's in the middle of cutting his serious promo, tofu, and you're like, okay, like what is the point? Like you could see it in Jay White's face. He's like, why am I here?
Yeah. Can you imagine if we got a Jay White versus Ilya Dragunov match?
It would be good, but I really wanted him in WWE. But then I realized how much they would like water him down.
Yeah, they would have totally neutered his character. But Jay White versus Rollins would have been.
I mean, we could still get it.
Yeah, eventually, maybe. But Darby actually got the first pinfall on Christian. It really set the momentum for this match as we go back into the match.
And this surprised me. And because the whole time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was like, please don't win, Darby. Please don't. I can't deal with it.
I don't like Darby but
I don't need him to be a 7-time TNT champion. You know what I mean? Like Christian is a good choice to be the champion.
He's good. Let the heel carry it for a while. And now we'll get into it after the story that everybody knows, but we know where this is going to. But like it was great watching like when he did that when they're trying to stretcher Darby out on the stretcher.
Okay, hold on, wait. Were you gonna skip all the good stuff? Okay, so Christian starts absolutely destroying Darby Allin because he lost the first pinfall because he was being cocky and like talking to people outside the ring. Nick Wayne's mom.
Yeah.
And then he just went on a rampage and beat the shit out of Darby Allin. He takes him up on the ring apron. He tries to suplex him over the top onto the ladder. I mean, onto the stairs that are set up outside. And then he realized I don't know what happened. Maybe he's a little bit hurt, but he couldn't lift Darby. So he had to bring him around to the other side.
Maybe that shoulder's still not at 100%.
It could be. They brought him around to the outside, and then he tried to suplex him from the apron up, down. And even with Darby jumping, he couldn't do it. Like this was so at this point, you're like, oh, this is getting really botchy, like whatever. But then he gets Darby up and throws him down on the stairs, and you're like, it's like a cringe moment. You're like, I can't believe they just did that. Then
and he landed awkwardly too. Yeah.
He goes down, picks him up, brings him back up, tries to lift him again, can't do it. So then he's like drops him, and then he says, fuck it, and just throws him.
Yeah.
And he hit the stairs so gnarly. Like
But Darby takes the punishment, right? Like that's what Darby's
But that was at this point, I think I was like, who the hell wants to watch Christian versus Darby Allin as your main event on a show called Wrestle Dream?
Yeah, this is not
Once
a dream.
This happened, I was like,
invested. I was sold.
I was mouth dropped open. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Then he starts cutting all the ring. He cuts all the ropes off the ring while the doctors are looking at him.
Yeah.
They put him on a stretcher. This fucker climbs up on the top rope and frog splashes
to the outside
on the stretcher.
Yeah. For a man who's like 50 years old, like we talk about like Jericho, like at 52, 53 doing what he does. Christian is 49. He's not that far off. He puts his body through a lot.
Not only is his heel work at the top tier of wrestling, he can still go, and he's one of the most underrated wrestlers. He carried this match. This match is an hour.
Yeah. Well, all in all, yes, it was an hour. The actual bell to bell was only 25 minutes.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he carried this entire match on his back.
Yes.
Darby did nothing.
Promos, yeah. Yeah. Darby was there to get beat up, basically. And then there was he tears the ring apart, like you said, the frog splash. And then he does the kill switch on the hardwood, and Darby kicks out of that.
And then Darby does a coffin drop on the hardwood on top of
the hardwood, yeah.
And then Christian kicks out.
Yeah. And then we get
we forgot. Christian got one of the falls by a count out when Darby was outside the ring.
Outside, yes. So it's 1-1 at this point. Like that's after he beat the absolute bejesus out of him. And with that, match is going on. We get Luchasaurus come out to the ring with a chair. Ready to, because it's an ODQ match technically, right? So Luchasaurus comes out, and
Nick Wayne came out.
Luchasaurus first, though, wasn't it?
No, Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne first? Okay. Yeah. Nick Wayne comes out, teases, he's like there. No, Luchasaurus was there too, because it was 2-on-2.
No, it wasn't. Where were you watching?
So
Nick Wayne comes out.
Yeah, I remember Nick Wayne coming out.
Nick Wayne comes out. He doesn't have a chair. Nick Wayne comes out to help him.
Yeah.
Christian's trying to hit him with the TNT belt. So Nick Wayne takes the TNT belt, and he
does the TNT belt.
Darby Allin with it.
Yeah, that's right. Nick Wayne turns on Darby Allin.
And then Christian pins him, wins. And I don't know if anybody noticed this. When the referee was down, who was it, Bryce Remsburg?
Mm-hmm.
He picks him up by the pants and like drags him. Christian's like not a weak guy. Like I was like, how is he doing that? He literally picked him up and dragged him by the pants.
But that's the thing, and this is going back to the beginning of this review. This is going back to what we were saying. What was the hell of the point of Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus if he was
I
just
don't know, because they just got weird. Anyways, they set up for the concerto on Darby Allin, and then
screen goes black.
Sting comes out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sting comes out. He gets
He
gets beaten
beats
down.
them up for a bit. Luchasaurus is there at this point.
Yeah.
Sting helps beat them up, and then Luchasaurus comes out, and then he fights Luchasaurus.
Yeah. That's when they set up for the concerto.
Sting,
and then screen goes black.
Screen goes black. It plays,
and we get a 20-minute movie.
And then
this is the part. This is the part we all knew who was coming at this point, but this is the part I didn't like. He should have just come out. They didn't need to play the music.
I liked it, man. Shut up. I liked it.
Okay, if you liked it, you liked it, but I didn't. It's too much time in between. You know what I mean?
But it felt,
if you're coming out to save somebody, do you need to play a movie before you come out to save them?
I don't think we get, like, and it's no offense to Jay White, but I don't think we get a better, like, introduction to a person joining another company than this for a long time.
Yeah. So once the little mini movie's done, all you hear is "You Think You Know Me," explosions go off, and out comes the rated R superstar Adam Copeland.
And they looped their way around a copyright strike. I realized it the next night. It says, "You think you know him."
Oh, really?
And then I'm like, that's not what it said. And I went back and I watched the pay-per-view, that clip, because I paid for it, right? So I rewound it, and it says, "You think you know him."
Know him. Okay. That's how because the song is Alter Bridge's song. So
they could buy the rights.
Yeah. So he can take it wherever he wants. So
no one owned the rights to Rated R Superstar.
But Edge is taken.
They can't have Edge because WWE owns Edge.
Owns Edge, but not the Rated R Superstar, which is weird. I didn't think they would have let that one slip by.
Come on, that handshake between Kenny Omega, the stuff you did last night was legendary.
Yes.
He's like, I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, Edge comes out, saves everybody. Pay-per-view goes off the air with Edge standing tall over everybody, basically, as Christian Cage and everybody are backpedaling out of the arena. So
they loved it. Sting and Edge did a handshake for the first time, even though they've both fucking worked in wrestling for so many years.
It is the first time they've come face to face with each other, because Edge was not back when Sting was in WWE.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so this is the first time they've been in the ring together. Pay-per-view goes off the air. So, as good as this pay-per-view was, I'm not in agreement with a lot of what the internet community is saying that this was event of the year.
You're fucking crazy.
All In was much better.
This is like this.
I'm not saying that this was bad. I'm just saying that
just like the purest. Like, when I see Wrestle Dream and I saw the card, I was like, nah, that's not what I want. But then I watched the matches, and it's like, there was, except for those first two matches, there's nothing bad on this card.
No, there wasn't.
This is the thing that people dream about when they wrestle. Wrestle Dream.
Okay. So then I'll give you. You want me to give you my score first then?
Give me your score.
I gave it a 7.8. It was a very good show, but not one of my favorites.
I'm going to give this a 8.5.
8.5. This is where we are really in disagreement for.
I think if you're in terms of paying money to get some entertainment, this was the most worth it I've seen in a long time. And I think for me, slightly worse than All In.
Yeah, because you gave it 1 point lower. But I think it just took so long, and it took so much out of it for me to watch it. Like, as far as the ending goes, it was a great finish to the show, and the last 6-7 matches were fantastic. But it was, in terms of a card, like, the card on Forbidden Door was better stacked than this for me. And I look at that way too. Like, the matchups.
Forbidden Door is the best pay-per-view of the year currently, I believe.
Yeah, I believe
by
it
our
is.
standards.
Right in front of, just slightly ahead of Wrestle Kingdom.
I mean, it's pretty far for me. What did I give it? A 9?
We both gave Forbidden Door a 9.
And what did I give Wrestle Kingdom? 8.7?
Wrestle Kingdom, 8.7. We both gave it an 8.7. So, but I mean, it was good. Like I said, it's no Wrestle Kingdom, it's no Forbidden Door. This is, don't get me wrong, one of the best pay-per-views of the year, but I don't think it's as high as everybody's saying it is.
I think you're crazy.
Well, okay.
I don't think it's the best pay-per-view of the year. I think that's nonsense.
Yeah.
There's 3 better already.
Yeah. But I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinions. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have our WWE Fastlane review. So make sure you tune in for that. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.